I wanted to talk about this because it inspired me to talk about this in the last video. I've said this before on Twitter before. I've told the crybabies, the colorism crybabies, that they are the product of a light-skinned person who doesn't love themselves, wanting and desiring to be fetishized by dark-skinned people who don't love themselves, so then they can convince them to love themselves. This is basically what it is, And I've told them this because this is the thing. People from those platforms that love to do this with light-skinned women being promoted for dark-skinned men are the same people who are related to the same people who are colorism crybabies. If you promote light skin among dark-skinned people, you will create a colorism crybaby. And with light-skinned people who do this, I've said this over and over again. They do this because they don't feel good enough for other men, other races of men, so then they go to other races that are darker than them, darker black men, to feel better about the fact that they feel rejected because they're too dark for other races. So, the thing is, here is they create this situation where colorism crybabies end up crying about colorism because in their heads they think that colorism exists because that's how they were raised. A lot of the time nobody really wants to talk about this because some colorism crybabies who are hurt enough we'll talk about it. There's one person that was so hurt, we had a beef and everything. I think her name was Nicole Little or something like that. And she always would cry about her light-skinned mother wanting to be fetishized or something like that, and how it had such a bad effect on her. And you can see that it had a terrible effect on her. I mean, she's out online making a fool of herself, talking about bleaching her skin and things of that nature because she was raised by the fetishization of light-skinned women. And so now she's internalized it and now she feels inferior. As a person who doesn't appreciate colorism crybabies and thinks they're pathetic, they're annoying, and they need some therapy, I do not like the creation of colorism crybabies. And to me, the main people who create colorism crybabies are the specific people who promote, and I'm not saying people who are just light skinned who prefer dark skin. Hey, some people prefer dark skin because that's just what they prefer. They think it's more attractive or whatever's going on. They probably were around a lot of dark-skinned people and therefore, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who want to promote light skin, yet they want to be with dark-skinned men. When you do that, what you're saying basically is you basically want to create a dysfunctional family. Because one, your man doesn't really love you. He just loves what you can make yourself out to look like. Hopefully you can make yourself not look like a black woman, basically. So he doesn't like you for you because you are black, but you can hide. Does that, if you had any sense of self-esteem and love for the black woman that you actually are, you would find this as a complete insult as a light-skinned or mixed black person. It wouldn't matter if you were mixed or if you were just black and light-skinned. Either way, you have black in you. He hates the black in you, yet you are willing to be okay with that because you don't like the black in you either. And so then you both agree that you should hide your blackness because that's the beauty in you. The beauty in you is you can disguise yourself to try to look like others who actually are not what you are and actually are themselves. You have to fake and be someone else other than yourself to be likable. As a lighter-skinned black woman, that is a doozy on your image. to think of it that way to me. I don't like that. I hate that, honestly, because it's like, you're not being true to yourself. You're not being honest to actually appreciate everything that you are. Everything. You may not have dark skin, and I never say that a lighter skinned person has to embrace dark skin for themselves, I don't think we do, but we don't. We do have to embrace who we are, which is black people. We're black people, Even as a mixed person, you still have black in you, you know? So, I mean, when you have that foundation, you're raising your child in a foundation where you are basically telling them that they are undesirable. You are undesirable, but the good thing you got going is that you can maybe make yourself look like something else. Maybe mix is a little bit better than black to somebody. And so maybe there's a little something you get better that you're hoping for. And then even in that case, it's like, even for the mixed person, they really know, and this is why there's a lot of insecurity for women like this, because they really know most women aren't black, they're not mixed, they're white, some are Hispanic, they don't have black in them at all, and they are always going to be put higher because they play the game that was going to always put them at the bottom of the bottom, and you're just fighting for little scraps among the bottom of the bottom. So that's why you don't play a game like that, honestly. I mean, like, as a black person, you should never embrace the hierarchy of like the white supremacy hierarchy, like where white people are basically put better, because that's what is basically being conveyed when you are saying lighter is better. It's always under the idea of being mixed and the closeness to whiteness, which is always going to lose because most people aren't mixed. Most people don't have black in them at all. So why would you concede to a game that's going to hurt you? But point is, you're going to have kids that are broken because you are broken, one, and you haven't fixed yourself. And I mean, you've already put yourself down, but I guess maybe you're okay with that. But more than that is that now you have kids that are going to be upset with themselves, because most of the time when you get with a dark-skinned black man, you have dark-skinned kids. And I know people always try and be like, no, that doesn't happen. I see that in my own family, honestly. The people who had dark-skinned fathers usually ended up dark-skinned. The people that had light-skinned fathers, there's only one of my cousins who actually ended up dark-skinned. Everybody else ended up light-skinned or like light brown or whatever. Like, everybody ended up lighter than a paper bag, basically. Besides one person. But, and I've seen that some other people say that usually the color does come with the father. But anyway, the point is that most likely you're going to have a dark-skinned or brown-skinned child. And that child is going to have some problems. Even if your child is, for example, light brown-skinned, you're going to have a child with more problems because the further you get from whiteness and your crazy ideas of things is going to put that person down further, obviously. So you're going to have a child who is broken no matter what, even if the child look like you, because you are broken yourself, So, I mean, I just think it's dumb to set yourself up for such failure. To me, from my perspective, I'm not saying that dark-skinned men and light-skinned women are always about the fetishization of light-skinned women. I'm just saying those that are. So thanks for watching.